Minecraft 1.17, the Caves and Cliffs update is on the horizon, and as a farm designer, one of my first questions about the update is, what new farmable items are there going to be? And today we're going to be taking a look at all of the confirmed items and blocks and resources that are in the update and speculating on which ones are most likely to have semi-automatic or fully automatic farms for them. Starting off with the Azalea trees and their leaves, it does appear that they are going to be at least semi-automatically farmable because there are saplings for them, so we can just grow them and farm the leaves. And it looks like there's several different variants of saplings with pink and purple leaves, or blossoms on the leaves, so I think that'll be good that there's actually going to be two colors. And I don't know if it's going to be fully automatically farmable, similar to oak trees and birch trees and those kinds of farms. If it is, that would be cool. But I think more likely than not, people are going to farm it for the leaves as opposed to the logs, because it seems that it is just normal oak wood but with different leaves and a different shape. Another thing that occurred to me when looking at the azalea roots that spawn underneath the trees is maybe it would act similar to growing 2x2 spruce trees, where it puts podzol underneath it. That could be something that works similarly to that if you can grow them. That's something I'm interested to see that may happen, or it may not, but that is an idea that I had. Also, according to the wiki and what we've seen, amethyst geode blocks will continuously generate the amethyst crystals on various sides, and that when you break those crystals, they will drop the crystal items or the crystal shards, which you can use for other things. And I would highly suspect that you could make a fully automatic farm out of that if it continuously regrows and it can be broken with something like water or a piston. That would be super easy. It would really just require an observer and a piston and stuff like that. It would be pretty similar to maybe like a melon or pumpkin farm. One of my biggest questions in terms of actually farming items here is the copper, because obviously there's going to be copper ore, but is there going to be a way to actually get renewable copper? Will it be a drop from something, or will it maybe have some other mechanic that makes it renewable? Like iron obviously comes from iron golems. You can make iron farms and that works out really well. But I'm going to be interested to see if copper is actually renewable, or you have to mine every bit of copper that you want to use. I expect that a lot of the foliage that is getting added, like the glowberry vines, is going to be easily farmable, similar to some of the different nether vines that sort of hang from the ceiling, because the glowberry vines, I'm assuming, are going to act similar to normal vines and will grow downward. And it's obviously very easy to harvest it if it does that with simple pistons and stuff like that, so I expect that will be farmable in a pretty easy way. I'm not too sure about the spore blossoms and the various drip leaf plants. I suspect that it might just be something that appears maybe when you bone meal the moss, or like the stuff that looks like moss. That's kind of what I would expect to do, which would make the farm relatively easy. Or maybe it only does that in a specific biome, but I suspect that that'll probably grow some way from bone meal. If it doesn't, that would actually be a little bit surprising. It would make it a little bit harder to come by, especially the spore blossoms. Now, about the actual moss blocks, I would be a little bit more surprised if they actually were farmable in some way or reproducible. They maybe you could craft them or do something like that, but I don't quite see them being farmable in the same way as some of the other plants. The moss blankets, or like the little like moss things that look like carpet, could actually maybe be farmable. That would make a little bit more sense, but I'm not sure. That's something that I guess we'll have to wait and see on. The skulk blocks are interesting to me because they could either maybe work similar to a type of grass where it would spread, or it may be an independent block. Those are my two thoughts on that, but I'm not really sure, because there's like skulk growths as well, which I highly suspect you can just bone meal off of skulk blocks. That would make a lot of sense. I would expect that to happen. Maybe not, but that's sort of my guess. I don't know about the actual blocks though. I feel like it could have the possibility to spread, meaning it would be easy to farm, sort of like mycelium and other grass related blocks like that. So I'm not sure. We're gonna have to wait and see on that, but I think that could be a potential block for farming. Moving on to stalagmites and stalactites. These I find interesting because like actual stalagmites and stalactites grow very slowly over time in the real world. So I wonder, are these going to actually grow over time? Are they going to get longer? And if they do, will they be farmable. Now, the lightning rods themselves are probably not actually going to be farmable, but they do actually present a new farm opportunity with them actually as like the center of the farm, because you could make a charged creeper farm using lightning rods. You could just have a creeper farm, you could funnel all the creepers into one area next to a lightning rod, and then obviously during a thunderstorm, lightning would strike and you'd get a ton of charged creepers. I'm sure there's even a way that you could funnel those charged creepers into some other area where you could actually farm mob heads. So that's something I'm gonna definitely be doing once snapshots come out, is working on a charged creeper and or mob head farm, because that would be insanely awesome to be able to farm the mob heads. Powder snow, I feel like it's more likely to be craftable and just generate naturally. I don't really think there's going to be a specific farm for it. I could be wrong, but that's not something I see actually being a farm. But I fully expect it to be renewable. I'd be very surprised if it wasn't renewable. There's several different types of stone that I doubt will be farmable as well, that sort of just generate normally underground. Maybe some of them would be craftable, like you can actually craft andesite, granite, and diorite, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't expect them to be farmable unless there's some sort of new combination with water and lava and that stuff. Maybe if you made like the combination with water and lava in a specific biome, like the deep dark, it would turn into a different type of stone, like the dark stone. At least that's the unofficial name of it right now. So that would be the only thing that would occur to me on that, but maybe we'll get in a different way, maybe not. With the axolotls, I would be surprised if you can't breed them, so you're probably just going to be able to breed the axolotls with something, maybe fish or something like that, and then you can obviously have more axolotls, so I expect they'll be renewable that way. Obviously the glowberries will most likely be renewable because they come from the vines, and the vines will most likely be renewable, and yeah, so I expect there'll be glowberry farms and stuff like that, even just semi-automatic ones. One thing that I actually thought of is that there will be a farm for goat horns, because the goats drop goat horns when they ram into blocks every so often. And then you could collect those goat horns and use them. It looks like the only feature that has right now is to create the raid horn sound effect, which is something that occurred to me before I actually saw that on the wiki. So that's going to be pretty cool that you can make that sound like manually. Glow squid probably going to be farmed similarly to normal squid. I'm not sure if there's going to be a reason to farm them unless they drop something unique to ink sacs, so I expect you could farm them, but whether or not you'd actually want to farm them is more the question about that. And the goats will be breedable, so you can farm the goats manually like that. And I don't think there's a big reason to right now, because right now they don't really drop anything. But maybe if they do drop something, like maybe a new type of food or something specific, at some point there'd be a reason to farm them. And on to the Warden. So Warden is something that we don't know very much about its spawning or its drops. We know nothing about its drops right now. And we only know that it spawns in the deep dark biome. But I would highly doubt that they spawn in large quantities, judging by how strong they are. Like, I wouldn't expect there just to be 10 Wardens just vibing in a deep dark biome at one time. That would seem a little bit ridiculous, judging by how strong they are. But if they do continuously spawn in the biome, or if it's just a one-time thing, that could be turned into a farm, theoretically. But we don't know what they drop, but I would imagine they drop something pretty good. My thoughts on this are that it'll be something similar to how the Evoker boss, like mini-boss, drops the Totem of Undying. I feel like he'll drop something rare and exclusive like that. That would be my guess, meaning that there probably would be a reason to actually fight them. I could be wrong, but that's just my best guess with that. But like I said, if they don't continuously spawn, then there's not really going to be a way to farm them that we know of yet. But if they do continuously spawn, but maybe in like small quantities, that's something that could maybe be done. And it wouldn't be too hard to lead them either, seeing as you can make them go in a certain direction by shooting projectiles and creating the vibration, so that would not be a problem. That's about all that we know of right now that I think will be likely farmable or have some chance of being farmable in some way. And I think that's a pretty good list of items so far. And I'm really excited to start making farms for that once like the actual snapshots come out, especially that charged creeper farm. That's something that I'm really excited to make. So yeah, hopefully snapshots come out soon. That'd be really good. But I suppose we'll just have to wait. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video and are excited for 1.17 and new farms that are going to be possible, then be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. I will do a full video on everything that's farmable in the new update once we actually have all the features confirmed and we know what's coming, definitely. But that probably won't be for a very long time. However, I expect before then we will have plenty of snapshots for farms, and you'll see new farms being made like that. But anyways, you can also come join my public Discord server. The link is down in the description below, and you can come hang out with us there. But I've been Speeve. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Bye.